Well, I would say, first, I must be grateful to God for giving me the opportunity through President Anes by Kuma to serve my people and to serve my country. As to whether it is more challenging than my previous job, well, it depends on how you see it. Because previously I was like the regional minister for the South, which means I was like the political head of all the ministries. But what is nice about my present appointment is like focus, a specific focus on social welfare, gender, and children's affairs. Social welfare in the sense I'm responsible for all the disabled, the aged, the poor of the poor in the society. Gender, of course, meaning both men and women, but more emphasis being on women, giving equality and equity to women to also come up the ladder, and of course children, which is what I'm responsible for now.
Yeah, Honorable, we understand your ministry was undergoing institutional reform in line with the public sector reform to ensure that the ministry delivers its services to the end users in a timely and professional manner. It was also agreed that the ministry be transformed into a directorate system. 5 directorates were proposed and approved by the Cabinet for implementation. So are you going to continue with that?
Well, let's put it this way. You see, whenever a ministry undergoes institutional reform, like the ministry I'm manning now was done, I believe it was done in the best interest of not only the ministry but the country at large. And since my assumption of office in that ministry, I believe those reforms, when they are fully implemented, we help in promoting not only the ministry but in dealing with the values, with the core mandates of the ministry in delivering its services to the people of Sierra Leone. So as a minister, I very much welcome the reform process that has started, and what I will even promise is that I will scale it up to make sure that whatever goods comes out of it gets to our people in a timely manner. So yes, I'm very much interested in it, and I will put it forward.
Okay, that's good to know. And quite recently, there was an International Rescue Committee report on domestic violence on the government to recognize domestic violence as a humanitarian issue and to increase funding significantly to address the problem. Many people say domestic violence is extremely hard to eradicate in Sierra Leone because it is viewed as a private matter or part of a long-standing cultural practice. What has your ministry done or doing to tackle that?
Well, let me just put it this way. The idea of people saying is a private matter does not stand with the laws of Sierra Leone anymore. That's why we've passed legislation, we've passed bills in Parliament that we are now rolling out. That we are now rolling out with our development partners, including the UNFPA, UNICEF, and others. And also, for those of you who may have followed the story, on March 8th, which was the International Women's Day, to show the government's commitment and the political will, the president clearly in his message to the people of Sierra Leone, but more specifically to the women of Sierra Leone, did clearly make a policy statement that an attack or any violence against women is a violence against the state. So if anybody is treating it as a private matter, I believe the statement from no less a person but the president of the Republic of Sierra Leone will show that it is no longer a private matter. And because of that, what we've done with our partners is this. We have now trained so many social workers to go on the preventive measure, to go and sensitize, to go and do advocacy work in our local communities, in our villages, in our towns, in our cities. You know, to tell whosoever believes that a woman is a punching bag, to now know that no, a woman is not a punching bag, and to now know that a woman has a significant role to play in the development of Sierra Leone. So nobody has the right to abuse or to victimize or to perpetrate any kind of violence, be it physical or not, against any woman in Sierra Leone. So we are on the drive, we are on the sensitization, and whosoever falls foul and believes that he can do it and say it is a private matter, we end up in jail in Sierra Leone. Because it is now a criminal matter.
Wow, thank God. We are grateful to hear that kind of action being taken against those who are committing this kind of violence against women and children. We are very happy to hear that. Now, there is one serious issue yet to be addressed by succeeding governments which is about street children. Is your ministry aware of the number of children, and especially those who are handicapped in the country, and what plans have you put in place to address these children's issues?
Okay, I will say this. It is not just, my ministry cannot do it alone. So I will even appeal to you, Sierra Leoneans out there who have partners, who have humanitarian organizations who are ready to help, to also come and join us. But I'll give you my own take on the issue. When I first assumed office, I had a meeting with all our development partners. I made it very clear to them that they have a contract with my ministry through the annual work plan that they develop and implement in Sierra Leone. That if anybody believes that he's coming to Sierra Leone and then say to the outside world, oh, give us money, we want to go and help the children of Sierra Leone, I will say as a Sierra Leone that they have failed us. I say because for me, whether you spend $1 billion in Sierra Leone on children, and if the next day there are children on the street begging, there are disabled people on the street begging, that means that program has failed us. So what we've now put in place, which we are now working on right now, is this. We have now decided to do a survey and a study and a research to really know why these children are on the street. And then number two, we have now put in place, which is operating right now, what we call an alternative care policy. In other words, children that are on the street are taken out of the street, taken to these alternative care homes for a short period of time, maybe de-traumatize them, and then try and reunite them with their families. Wow. This we are doing right now, and this we are trying to also scale up to go into the provinces to do. Because what I will also tell you, my Sierra Leonean sister, is this. After the war, I heard what they were talking about, demobilization. But what they did not do, they did not de-traumatize the people that were affected by the war, be they children or the disabled. So because of that, we have also trained social workers with our partners to go around and try and de-traumatize some of these our brothers and sisters that are sleeping rough in the street, not because they want to be there, but because social actions at home may have precipitated them to go on the street. So all those programs are now at play, they are now at work, and as I said, we cannot do it alone as a government. We need to collaborate. So even your own station can also help us in trying to eradicate this menace that is plaguing our country or the streets of our country, Sierra Leone.
Okay, that's good. That's a tall order, but we hope, inshallah, that it will go through, and we will do our best to see how we can also contribute in promoting what you have planned and what you are doing at the moment. And as the new Minister of Social Welfare, what plans do you have for this year's Hajj to be much more successful than the previous ones? Normally, there is always issues about accommodation, transportation, proper arrangements on all services on the ground in Makkah, and adequate medical services to the pilgrims, which has been a major concern to a good number of pilgrims. How do you plan to address these issues?
Well, my sister, this is a very pertinent question, and for it I say thanks to you. In fact, just today, we have now, because as a minister, I will tell you what has been the problem in the past also. Since this government has been in power, there have been about 3 ministers in the ministry responsible for having social welfare. And all those 3 ministers were Christians. So because they were Christians, they were not able to go on pre-Hajj arrangements because they were not Muslims. But then, as you may know, I am a Muslim by religion. So, in other words, people were going and coming to report to them. But I am also going there personally by myself to see what best arrangements we can do for accommodation, transportation, and all the services in Mecca, and how best we can make sure that there will be adequate medical services to people who be going to perform the pilgrim. You know, this time, as I said, I will be going. So because I will be going there, I also want to make sure that Sierra Leoneans say, this minister is the best minister for Hajj. So I am going to make sure that whatever it takes for me to succeed as the best minister that could ever organize a Hajj in Sierra Leone, that I will do, and that is my goal. And I promise you, nobody is going to stand in my way in making sure that I achieve the best, because I believe Sierra Leoneans deserve the best in going for Hajj.
Wow. That's very nice. It's good to know. I'm smiling just hearing you say that, because I know for sure, and I've experienced it with a lot of the pilgrims who come, how much they suffer when they come. They are not being looked after. That I can tell you for free. But I'm happy to know that you are really going to get involved in this. And we look forward to see you and to see how far you go with it. Finally, Mr. Minister, what is your message as far as your ministry is concerned to the people, the diasporans out there?
Well, let me put it this way. As I said, what is the Ministry of Social Welfare? The Ministry of Social Welfare is the ministry that is responsible for the aged, the poor, the disadvantaged, the disabled. The Ministry of Social Welfare is the ministry also responsible for women empowerment. The Ministry of Social Welfare is also responsible for children's affairs. So from what I have just said, you can really see that all the people in that ministry are not really significant producers. We are more of consumers of good Samaritans or good humanitarian people. So my appeal, which I will do through this medium now, is always remember us in your program. Feel free to call me anytime you want clarification on issues. And if you are to come across Sierra Leoneans or friends of Sierra Leone who want to come and help in promoting children's welfare, in promoting women's empowerment, in helping the disabled, the aged, definitely I will plead with you people to get them in contact with me, so that at least with their little help, we can also change the life of the ordinary Sierra Leoneans who may be at the wrong end of the stick.
Thank you very much, Mr. Minister. We appreciate hearing all of these plans you have, and we hope and wish you all the best in all that you are doing, and we will try our best to contribute in whichever way we can. Thank you very much, Honorable.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity. And as I said, always feel free to contact me if you want me to go on radio to inform our brothers and sisters out there and our friends out there about the workings of the Ministry of Social Welfare, Gender and Children's Affairs.
Last night I heard the screaming, loud voices behind the wall. Another sleepless night for me. It won't do no good to call the police. Always come late if they come at all. Last night I heard the screaming, loud voices behind the wall. Another sleepless night for me. It won't do no good to call.